microphones, so we should be live now. Out of studio mode. Hello, everybody out there. I see there's 3 folks at least watching. We'll see.
At least.
What's up? T-Flip Rex and Beyond Peril.
Oh, that dude. Ugh.
Boom. Just doing a mic check here to make sure everybody can be heard. I see you guys on the meter. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mikey. Yep. He likes it.
Hey, Mike.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Beyond Peril. I hear Mike, he says. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get this thing going for you guys. And recording. All right. Welcome to the Lovecraft Tapes podcast. This is Case 15, The Crosses. Not to be confused with lacrosses. That's like the shirts you wear. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore, and we play Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu, a role-playing game filled with cosmic horror, existential dread, and a laugh track that just seems to go on forever, gradually shifting in tone until the giggles become shrieks. Yet the camera pushes in closer and closer on the wide-eyed terror of the sitcom family who hasn't yet uttered a single catchphrase. Your investigators of the unknown are Brian as Ben. Oh, yep. Sorry, guys. Brian's not here. We're hoping that he can make it. He's running a bit late. It sucks being here in Michigan because we have snow. And snow does terrible, terrible things to us. Way to go, Brian. Matt as Kyle.
Hey, Brian, say nothing if you want to just give me $50. Sweet.
Cha-ching. And Lupine as Rosa.
Hey, I'm only 3.5 years old, so be nice to me, right? Okay.
You're this many. Wait.
Yeah, I'm this.
So many fingers, so little time, right?
This many.
Wait, was that the Trump sign? What are you doing over there? Stop that.
I'm this many now.
Well, welcome, players. How are you guys doing tonight? Warm, I hope, not being snowed upon.
Definitely being snowed upon, but being inside of the domicile tends to minimize the effects of snow.
There's a roof above me and also a neighbor, so they'll get snowed upon before I do.
Nice.
I'm in a basement, so I got a floor, and then there's another floor, and then there's the roof. So I got a lot of clearance. I'm just saying.
We're talking levels upon levels upon levels here.
It's like an onion in here. We got layers.
So fucking meta.
Or a parfait.
Well, I'm feeling super giddy today because, we're here at this household. We're beginning our adventures in the new Frosthaven board game. And what with all the latest D&D hoopla, I don't know if you've heard, I wondered if you were able to play a prototypical RPG character, what class would you be and how would you apply those medieval skills in the modern world of 2023?
Well, I mean, I like being a rogue because you can always steal stuff. But no, I think I'd be the type of rogue that would just hide at all times, everywhere. I'd be like in the corner and you wouldn't see me. I'd be at a party and they'd be like, "Where's Lupine?" And I'd be like, "I'm nowhere. I'm not here." Yeah.
The hell? The curtains are
Rolled
talking.
really high on her stealth check.
And the curtains have really nice shoes.
Ooh.
Yes.
What do you think, Matt? What would you be?
I'd probably. That's a tough one. I'd have to say I'd probably end up being more of a ranger, where I'm a little more designed to be, a little further back, but then I would totally forget and just run up and start hitting things. So I'd probably multi-class into a bit of barbarian.
And in 2023,
if Brian were here, he
works.
could attest that my general gameplay style is I'll poke at things, and then at about 10 seconds of poking, I get really bored and I just sprint straight into the middle of everything and start swinging.
It is definitely a strategy. A strategy. But clearly, I would choose to be a necromancer, resurrecting the dead left and right. Aunt Maggie got crushed by a grand piano last week. Wakey, wakey. Time to make your famous peach pie. Little brother got run over by a reindeer? Suck it up, Buttercup. And here's 2 for flinching. Trump keeled over 5 minutes ago from a massive heart attack? Well, death's a bitch, isn't it? It's an audio podcast, guys.
Oh.
The nodding doesn't really work.
Forgot about that.
Nod,
Okay.
nod.
Just nod and smile.
Yeah.
Nod and smile.
Smile and wave,
Nodding,
boys. Smile and wave.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, listeners, if you would like to drop us a letter from beyond, please contact us. Please. On our website at lovecrafttapes.com anytime. It's open 24/7. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's not one of those 7-Eleven stores. It's open 24 hours. So we do accept thoughtful criticism, thirsty praise. I like that phrase, thirsty praise. And even Totino's pizza rolls, hot out of the oven, filled with ectoplasm, beetle dung, and green M&Ms. But only the green ones, otherwise you violate the terms of our writer. And Matt will get very angry. And you wouldn't like him when he looks like a green M&M. So.
You won't like
is
it.
This with the more sexy high heels that Fox News wanted, or is this with just the regular flats? Because it makes a difference.
Yeah, it's totally up to you, buddy. I mean, this is your show, so.
Oh, thirsty.
And this show is brought to you in part by our generous fans and supporters on patreon.com/Lovecraft Tapes. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate all the moolah you are funneling our way from your coffers of saved up newspaper routes and, I don't know, couch cushion change. I don't know where you get your money. I'm not one of those people who likes money. I'm doing air quotes for the audio podcast. Money. I think you can hear air quotes in my voice too, can't you? Money.
Oh yeah, air quotes are audible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we begin, we need to take a quick commercial break, guys. So I think we know what we need to do here. Let's roll some Sweet D. Oh, geez. Look, I got a 7. Matt got a 38. And Rosa, Lupine, you are going to be selling something to me, so have at it.
Okay. Hold on, let me think of a minute. Have you ever needed a babysitter? Because I have the perfect babysitter for you.
But I'm an old man.
Exactly. Old men need babysitters a lot.
I do need a wipe now and then.
Yes, this babysitter will be happy to take care of your biological functions. All of your liquids, of the fluids. This babysitter is, 7 feet tall and
oh my.
Yes. So this babysitter will gladly carry you around when you need to get up the stairs or down the stairs. Or out into the yard.
I just need to get to the potty.
This babysitter may, in fact, carry you to the potty.
But no.
But
potty. I have to go right now.
Oh, well,
In fact, I'm going right
quick.
now.
Oh, then, babysitter. See, this babysitter is very, very tall.
Did he bring the talc with him?
Yes, the baby wipes are built right in to his titanium frame.
Oh, my lord. What is this, Black Panther?
No, this babysitter is going to terminate all of your problems.
I don't like the sound of that.
Look at his glowing red eyes. They just glow with hair. And even if you are subjected to lava, this babysitter will power right through.
Good, because it's a bit crusty down there.
I'm sure in the basement, the babysitter can sweep up all of the crap in the basement. They are very hard workers.
All right, well, how much is this?
Well, this babysitter is only the mere cost of your internal organs. No. Yes. No.
Not the external ones, but thank God, I gotta keep that one.
Yeah, no, you can keep the external ones. We just need
just the one.
The internal ones, and just the ones that you have, two of, so you won't miss one.
All right, well, that's, let's see, I got the duodenum, what else is in there? I got two lungs, but they're pretty old.
We can certainly replace those with replacements of a titanium nature.
Ooh, I like that. Are you sure it's not that vibranium stuff, right? It's just titanium?
No, just titanium.
Thank God.
Vibranium doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
I saw it on the TV. Fox News said.
No. Sir, maybe this babysitter needs to bring little friend to his nap time. Do you need a nap time, sir?
I quit sleep. Yes, I'm a bit tired. Yes.
Well, this babysitter would be glad to tuck you in at night.
Ooh,
so
do I got to pay extra for that?
No, you do have to pay extra if he's going to stay in the bed with you. But no.
How else is he going to tuck me in?
He's going to stand over you and watch you unsleeping as you sleep. And he will watch for any threats that may come.
This is the weirdest babysitter I ever had.
But it is the best babysitter you have ever had, because this one will help you do everything that you need to do, and for only the monthly payments of your organs.
Okay, I can grow new ones, so that's fine. What do I call this thing?
This is Mr. T. Call him Mr. T.
Oh, nice to meet you, Mr. T. Are you my babysitter?
He has a lovely little mohawk on the top. Do you like that little detail?
It's very nice.
It's made of entirely synthetic, real human hair. No, entirely synthetic.
Well, I'm sold. I'll take this babysitter, and we'll see you later while he tucks me in.
Okay. Away with you, babysitter, Mr. T.
And I left some organs on the table for you. All right, nighty-night.
Oh, good night.
And we're back. If you could improve that product under service, what one feature would you add, Matt?
An egg timer. Everything needs an egg timer.
True. Lupine, what do you think? What one feature would you add?
I don't know. I think I'd put like artificial skin on the hands so that they were soft and supple.
For the tucking, yes. Well,
Yes.
for me, I'd go with a convenient carrying strap, something with carabiners, a wool shoulder pad, and embroidered with cool lightning bolts so everyone would know how rad this product under service is. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
cool. Now, dear investigators, we play Case 15, Tape 3. These moose antlers don't fit. Previously on the Lovecraft Tapes. Summer vacation for 3 teenage friends begins quietly enough in Las Cruces, California, though the calm morning routine is soon disturbed by unexpected happenstance. Ben scarfs down a quick breakfast before heading out to meet his friends, but not before his mother reminds him to check in at Herb's Goods and Sundry later this afternoon for any delivery jobs. Kyle's aunt and uncle invite him to dinner while his father is away, which lifts his spirits enough to nail his football drills in the backyard. After leaving the farm, Rosa confides a secret stash of reading material to her best buds at the clubhouse. An unwelcome visitor disrupts their private perusal of literary works, but intrigues them with an invitation to see something far more interesting. So Gertie is walking away from the edge of the forest after telling you that she has a creature to show you.
Do you want to go, Kyle? Do you want to go see?
Huddle up. Come on. Right here. So,
Okay.
do we think it's actually like a creature? Or is it like the last time where she just put like a bucket on a mop and then like shook it around and was all like, oh, it's a scary thing?
I think we're gonna have to go see what it is, just so that she'll shut up and go away.
Fair point. So
Yeah.
we tell her that, okay, that's cool, and then we just immediately like leave because
We could do that, and then we could like come back here, or we could tell her that we need to go back home and then circle back around to the clubhouse. We could read some of these stories, some of these scary stories. Do you want to
maybe
do
by
that?
then we'll have a big enough rock to fix a hole in the roof. Is
Oh right, yeah. Maybe on the way, Ben will find something, big enough. Maybe he'll find a rock pump or something.
And at this stage, Ben does get a little irritated and stalks off towards Gertie.
I mean, you're just gonna all right, man. That's
okay. I mean, whatever. I guess he's got a bee in his bonnet, as my mom says. So let's go see what he's so excited.
all right. I'm gonna stalk off after Ben.
All right, and the three of you easily catch up to Gertie, and she keeps looking back behind just to make sure that you are following, purposely walking a little slower than normal because she desperately wants you guys to see the thing that she wants to show you. And now that Gertie does have your divided attention. She leads you out of the forest and across the northern section of town. And I'll change the map here in Roll20 for you. I did update it from last time. So you see you guys are at the clubhouse here. And she leads you basically right about here. This would be the northern section of town. She actually lives over here. Right about where San Julian Road crosses Highway 1. Did you guys see those pings okay?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I think I can actually draw like a little line here, maybe. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe I could just draw... There you go. Essentially, that's the direction that she's going to be taking, okay? Just so you have a general idea.
Okay.
So she leads you out of the forest and across the northern section of town, prattling on and on about how excited she is for summer vacation. And are you guys excited about high school next year? Because she'd be excited because it's all the way over in Lompoc, and that place is full of excitement.
I mean, it's not that exciting, honestly. It's high school.
Yeah, we're just gonna, it's just gonna be more, learning and stuff. And
I mean, learning is so cool. I mean, look at you, Rosa. I just, I just hope I can grow up to be an old lady like you.
And you see Rosa's face get like blanch when she says old lady, and Rosa's like, yeah, so old. Very old.
I mean, you're almost as old as my mom, right?
A very old person. I'm. Well, I don't know. I'm probably closer to you than your mom in age. I think.
But I'm 9, and you're like 14. That's like super old.
Do you know how old your mom is?
She's old too. I mean, you're just all old.
Yeah, but you know what that means is we're older than you. It means you have to do what we tell you. That's how that works.
My mom says the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Because we know stuff. You were just saying with the learning.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Eventually, I'm going to know the stuff that you know.
Probably, but it'll take a while.
Maybe I'll know it before, like earlier than you knew it.
I doubt that. I don't think that.
My grandma says I'm a fast learner, so.
Grandmas are supposed to say those things.
Dad says the same damn thing.
Yeah. You should learn how to read a room because we need to keep this going.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, no, come on. Follow me. It's just right over here.
And you should. Huh? You also need to learn that mops are not monsters.
It was the one time it was.
It's just you. Have you ever? Mops are not scary.
They can
be.
You
just gotta clean the floor sometimes.
But sometimes if you clean the floor and then you leave the mop in the corner and then later that night you forget about it and you wake up in the middle of the night and then the moon's coming through the window and you see the mop and there's like a shadow on the wall and it's now no longer a mop.
But it's still a mop.
I was gonna say it doesn't change.
Don't they teach you object permanence by 9 years old?
I'm just saying, what if it was a mop and then it wasn't a mop in the middle of the night and then it was a mop in the morning?
So it was like a were mop?
Yeah, it was a were mop. Yeah, see, I knew you'd know, Kyle. I mean, you're so smart.
Yeah. Okay. Where's the mop? Show us your monster. Show us your monster thing.
Oh, yeah, okay. I promise you it's not a mop, but just follow me. And she continues leading you. And as you get close to the road, getting ready to cross over, a car pulls up, a very familiar car, and it's Ben's mom. And she pulls to the side of the road and honks her horn a little bit. And Ben immediately has like a dogged look about him and trots on over to his mom. And he quietly gets in the car. They have some words. And then she holds up a finger. You can see her talking to him. And then she hops out of the car and trots on over to you and says, hey, guys.
Oh, hey, Mrs. McKnight.
Hey, Kyle.
Hi.
Hi, Rosa. Hi, Gertie. And so why are you guys hanging out with her?
We're pitying her, you know, how it is with kids and their imaginations.
Fun thing to show us or something.
Well,
she swears it's not a mop this time, but, you know, I have my doubts.
Me too. God, the last time. You know, I'm not supposed to say this, but Ben kind of had nightmares after that.
Of the mop?
You know, he's very imaginative. He works overtime. His brain just couldn't. Anyways, I don't want to embarrass him, okay? And she looks.
And you can tell that Rosa's not going to let that
go. Well, look, guys, I just need him for a little while, okay? We've got some things to take care of back at home. I promise you I'll get him back to you as soon as I possibly can, but I just really need him right now, okay? Look, he's needs to head to Herb's Goods and Sundry at 4:00 to check for any deliveries that he has to do. So if you don't see him by then, would you guys mind taking care of it? Herb will let you know what to do. Just one of you guys head over to the store by 4. Would that be okay? Can I ask you that favor?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can.
Great. Well, you guys figure it out. I trust you. I trust you with no problem. So, but I gotta go now. So good luck. Have fun with the little one. Watch out for any mops. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll see you soon. Bye. We'll have you over for dinner sometime. Bye.
Bye.
And she hops back in the car, and they both drive away. Ben looks out the window with like a sad look as he goes past. He has the look of somebody whose plow just broke down in the middle of.
That's an oddly specific way to describe that.
Very strange.
It's very strange. You pulled that
it just came
analogy.
To me. I don't know.
I look at Kyle.
That's why you're in charge here.
It sounds like maybe he dropped plow in the wrong place.
Oh. You got to be really careful where you drop plow.
Yeah,
otherwise you get
can't just drop plow everywhere. You know, there are laws, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as they drive away, Gertie looks between the two of you, shrugs her shoulders, and keeps walking. And you guys follow along, and you traverse the hilly scrub field beneath the blazing sun, saunter across San Julian Road, find a series of stepping stones across the creek, and then head unwaveringly toward her house in the distance. The Cooney place is a ramshackle affair, a faded gray 2-story structure tilting with neglect and covered in creeping vines. Beneath the afternoon sun, it looks like a sad building that recently got into a bad fight and lost. A few cracked windows have been patched with duct tape. But before you get within 30 yards, Gertie stops in her tracks at the edge of another stream that could be easily hopped over with a running start. Shit, she says out loud. It was right here.
Language?
Can we see any place? Sorry. Can we see any place in the grass where something has been? Is it tamped down anywhere? Was there anything big in the grass?
You do see, you see a spot right where she's pointing. where something could have been.
What did it look like, Gertie?
It was a creature, like it had, I don't know, like it wasn't, it kind of looked like something, and then
A mop?
it wasn't a mop, Kyle. Oh, God. It was, it was creepy. I just got a quick glimpse of it, and then it moved, and then it was gone. I figured you guys would know what it is. You gotta find it, guys. Come on, it can't have gone far.
Well, I don't. Okay. I guess let's go look for the mop creature, Kyle. Do you want to go? I don't know.
I'll check the other side of the stream if you want to start looking around here. I'm just going to very casually hop across to the other side.
Okay. Do you want to do Kyle first?
Not necessarily. What is your intention?
Oh, I was just gonna look around and see if I could find any tracks or
Tracks
any
is
other
the key word
like,
here.
Yeah.
Moose tracks. Wait.
Moose tracks. What?
Wants ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I
honestly.
do.
I do. Okay, so
Ice cream for ice cream.
sounds like Rosa is going to attempt a track roll, and Kyle, I assume you're going to do spot hidden. So
Yeah.
it kind of sounds that way. So go ahead and give me those rolls, please.
I needed a 50. I rolled a 78. That's a failure.
Did that work?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. It did it twice.
Yep.
Sorry.
So read the first one.
Okay. 8 under 30, so I succeeded hard. Success.
Nicely done. So yeah, we'll say that. So Kyle hops over the creek, really just a miniature stream. There's like not much to it, and obviously it's this is slightly dried up too, so there's not a lot of water trickling through this bed. And he begins looking over on the other side, on the Cooney side of that property, and while he is picking up a stick and threshing through the long grass, trying to see if he can detect anything, Rosa immediately sees some prints in the stream bed, sort of on the one side of the bank, that indicates something is moving downstream through the mud.
Can I tell, with a hard success, can I tell, like, sort of what the track is like? Do they look like hooves, or do they look like wolf paws?
It's very hard to tell, but it looks like hooves, but they're not being planted. Like they're not being planted firmly on the ground. They're more like sliding, and they're quite small. They're only about the size of a $50 each, and you only see 2, not 4, as you would suspect from a normal animal.
I'm gonna gesture. Hey, Kyle! I found something.
Cool, because there's nothing over here. And I'm just gonna jump back across and see what Rosa found.
And you see the same thing, and Gertie is sort of looking on behind you. What is it? What is it? Did you find it?
I mean, which do you want to tell her, Kyle? Because I kind of don't want her to, like, with us.
Yeah.
Gertie, we didn't really, I mean, we don't know where this thing that you say was here is. I think maybe we'll just, I think you're not telling us the truth, so we're just gonna,
What? No, my mom says I'm supposed to tell the truth, and this is the one time I did.
Wait, so when you told us about that creature you saw at the school, like that one that you looked out your window, you saw a creature at the school, that wasn't true. This is the one time you've told the truth?
Well, that one I thought it was, and then I looked again and
Yeah.
it kind of wasn't. But this is
So,
different.
Can't you sort of see why I don't believe you?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe you should like go. Why don't you have friends your age?
No.
Okay, well, I don't know, we're gonna go run around in the woods. I don't know.
Well,
I think you should stay here and think about,
but
telling the truth.
what about the creature though? What if he comes and gets me?
Well, like, there's nothing here.
Well,
We don't see anything.
Sorry, kid, but looks like maybe you just saw something.
I mean,
okay.
sometimes my family's goats get out.
Yeah.
Maybe you saw one of them?
No, I know what a goat looks like.
Well, you think you know what a goat looks like, but a goat running through the trees, you never know what they look like.
But there's no trees here. It's just flat.
Over by the forest. You saw it over by the forest, right?
No, I saw it right here. Next to my house.
Nowhere. What do you... I'm just... And Rosa just starts to walk away. I'm gonna walk south towards Kyle's house. This way.
Okay. And you see Gertie just looking, pouting, standing at the edge of her property. So you guys are, just so you know exactly where you're at, I'll ping. If we zoom in a little bit. You guys are here. And I got to actually change my thing. You're right next to her house.
Okay.
There, see that creek right there? Next to her house?
Mhm.
That's that stream. So you guys are just right there.
Okay.
A little north of the church, a little south of the Harrington house,
Yeah.
where the bully is.
Yeah, definitely don't want to go that way. So I'm just gonna like follow the creek down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the tracks go that way.
Yep, that's correct. Kyle, what are you doing?
And I'm tired of arguing with Gertie.
Just gonna look at her and go, yeah, what she said. And then I'm gonna walk off after Rosa.
Okay. So Gertie watches as the two of you walk south along the stream bed. And you don't go any more than 30 feet, Rosa, when you spot a clump of grass that has clearly been grazed. Because you work on a farm, or live on a farm, I should say. Because you live on a farm, you instantly recognize the signs of something grazing in the grass. And it looks as if this creature ate some of the scrub. There is a small bush nearby with some purple berries on it, a very small bush. And beneath this bush is some toadstools, many of which have been, the tops have been nibbled off and are missing, so only the stalks are left.
So I'm gonna spin around and shout back to Gertie. You definitely saw like one of the goats. because there's something that's been grazing over here. So you need to get better at spotting monsters, because they don't all look like goats and mops.
I know what a mop goat. No, never mind. And she turns around and starts running back towards her house.
Okay,
She'll learn someday.
that they don't all look like goat mopley.
No, there are things out there other than goats and mops.
There are, like, I don't know what, but
Tahoe
there
Tessie.
was something grazing here. There was something grazing here, so I guess we'll keep following. So, what?
Okay, I thought that was a question to Kyle. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry.
I mean, if you think there's something still this way out, we can definitely keep giving it a look.
I mean,
just remember we have to get to Herbs to do those deliveries for Ben.
Yeah, and it's only about like 2:00 right now. You got a couple hours to kill.
I am gonna mention, Kyle, it was kind of weird because I did see like hooves, and they looked kind of small. So, like goat hooves. But I only saw 2. Like the tracks were only 2 hooves. So whatever it was, seemed like maybe,
it's a
I don't know.
chupacabra.
I mean, all of our goats are like, it wouldn't be a goat because all of our goats are fine. None of them have been, had their blood sucked out or anything. But they've got, so whatever it was walking on 2 feet. Looked like.
Maybe it's the goat man.
Maybe.
Cuckoo-ca-choo.
All right. So, I guess just keep following the creek, assuming that it's going to stay near water.
All right. So, yeah, you continue along the bed and keeping an eye out for any other indications of this creature having eaten more things or whatever. And occasionally you do see, Rosa, more of those hoof prints. And again, they're sort of smeared in the mud, so it's very hard to make out exactly what kind of critter this might have made this. But then you come upon it about 40 yards away from the spot where Gertie said she saw it. And the creature, as Gertie calls it, is nothing more than a fawn. However, you can immediately tell something's not quite right. The baby deer drags itself along the ground, breathing heavily but making no other noise, clearly unable to stand. In fact, its hind legs are fused together, the tissue green and wet, almost liquefied. Whether this is a birth defect or the result of some flesh-eating disease, you're uncertain. It heeds you no mind as it continues to laboriously pull its bulk further along the stream bank as the afternoon heat pounds down.
Oh, we have to do something.
That's
because
gross.
How about Ichi make a sanity roll? That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like fun.
I needed a 60. I rolled a 24. That is a hard success.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I lost my...
Sanity is below the characteristics.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh.
So wait. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page. Okay, that's yeah. I think that tracks because I think I've seen plenty of goats like baby goats and whatever other animals we have born with like calls
Mm-hmm.
and like their back legs get tied together.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so I guess I mean it makes sense that I would be pretty distressed about
Yeah. So tell us what you rolled.
Oh, sorry. I rolled a 92 above an 80, so I failed.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Kyle is more or less unfazed by looking at this thing. I'm trying to think like why you would be unfazed, but because you would think it'd be the other way around, that Rosa would be totally useless. But
Pick up
Right.
a stick and just kind of start poking at it and go, this green stuff kind of looks like the fungus that was in the locker room earlier this year. I had to like close down the
Ew.
whole place and like had to call in like special cleaners and stuff. It was crazy.
Gross. But that stuff was black. The black mold.
Oh no, there's like a
Right?
fussy green thing in there too.
Oh, there was green stuff?
Yeah,
Ew, that
there's
must have
green
been in
stuff
the boys.
and black stuff.
That must have been in the boys' line.
and you can tell, Kyle, that even though Rosa's trying to play it cool, she's clearly shaken up at the sight of this thing. Her face has gone a gray ashen color, and she, even though she's keeping up a patter with you about the fungus that outbreak in the school last year, she looks like she could probably faint at the drop of a hat.
I'm sure that was in the boys' locker room.
You okay there? You're looking a little pale.
I think maybe I should sit down. Like
Yeah,
right like
you might want to
right
do that.
here, and I just plop down. Like
Face
this
down on
seems
the
like
bed.
a good Yeah, this seems like a good place to sit. I'm sitting right.
And you see her essentially just sort of like crumble in place, try to do a cross-legged sit in the grass, but wobbles a little bit and kind of falls to one side, trying to right herself. She's clinging to consciousness at this point.
Looking like a baby fawn myself.
Creepy.
I mean, if you want to call that sitting, I think it's more of like a yoga thing you got going on.
This is not the lotus. This is the I don't know, face plant.
Downward facing.
Downward facing.
Kabloo. And yeah, well, so we'll go ahead and say, yeah, she completely passes out. Kyle, what do you do?
Walk over and scoop up a little bit of water from the creek and then just like onto her face.
And Rosa, you come to coughing a little bit as water goes up your nostrils.
Oh,
You
thanks.
you okay there? Yeah. It seems like you kind of left me for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. And then I look at the baby fawn again, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah,
You might want to try
it.
not looking at it if that's what did it the first time.
Okay, but we have to do something because this poor baby fawn. I mean, where's its mother?
I mean, what do you want me to do?
Milk it.
Are yeah, go lick it. Do the fawn's legs look like the flesh of the actual legs is rotting away, or like they're wrapped in something?
It kind of looks like either they're coated in something, or it came out defective, and
Okay.
and maybe it has gone to rot. It's really tough to tell. Although maybe you have a skill that you could roll that might teach you more.
Oh.
So you have...
How's your animal handling?
Yeah. I mean, natural world maybe, but probably not.
Let's see.
I was thinking of like medicine or something, but actually
I don't
Ben's
have
way
medicine.
better in that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I mean,
start looking
Ben is
around for a
medicine guy.
decently sized rock,
okay, nice.
I'll
maybe a small boulder.
Got it.
I'm gonna be like, because I think I've seen, like people who are lambing and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and getting, like cut the legs apart.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, so like separate them. So I'm gonna be like, Kyle, maybe you should like try to poke the legs. Like maybe the legs are wrapped together, and so you need to like, I don't know. You've got that stick, right? So go poke the I don't know.
And
legs.
As she's saying that, I'm just going to walk over with this decently sized boulder and just up above my head and as hard as I can, just whack right down onto its skull.
Okay.
It's the only way I can think of putting this thing out of its misery.
100%. Yeah. So the rock comes down and just crushes what meager life was left in this poor fawn, and it stops moving. I will need Rosa to take 1 point of sanity damage, please. And that is
and
the
hi Crimson, thanks for rating into
thank
that.
you, Crimson. Appreciate that. So that is the middle one that you're going to change.
The middle one? Okay.
Yep, 80. You're going to change that to a 79.
Almost nice.
Almost. 1 digit away.
Yeah. And then I think, yeah, there you go. You're good. So that just tells you that your starting point was 80 all the way to the far right there. 64 is like the time that you would begin to take some massive damage, or have a bout of madness. But we figure the fainting spell and that sort of thing, and perhaps maybe even the temporary inability to convince Kyle to not smash its head in with a boulder. If you had your wits about you, you might have used persuade there to try to get him to not do that, and to do your poking of the leg situation. But that is all moot now. So the two of you stand sweaty underneath the June sky, late afternoon, looking down at this very still corpse with its head buried beneath a large boulder.
And I think I don't know. I think for one loss of sanity, Rose is gonna like burst into tears and be like, "Kyle, why did you do that? We could have, maybe we could have helped. I don't know, because the farm animals."
Oh no! You wanted me to. I mean, but you said that.
I don't know. We were gonna try to. I don't know. Okay, well, see if you can see what's. Actually, you know what? Let's just leave. Can we leave? Can you help me? Can you help me walk to the clubhouse? What time was it? Still like early afternoon.
Yeah, it's a little after 2:00. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you got a little time to do other things if you like.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's just go back to the clubhouse. We don't have to look at this or anything. So, I'm going to try struggling up.
Here, I'm going to walk over and like with almost no effort just like pick her up and put her back on her feet. That's better.
Thank you. Okay. Let's go this way. And
But isn't the
Rose is
clubhouse over here?
Yeah, I was supposed to say Rose is gonna start in the opposite direction. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Let's let's go this way. Okay. And she's gonna forge off in the correct direction.
All right. And you guys begin the slow trek back the way you came towards the clubhouse. And the mood is much more somber now than it was at the beginning of this morning. Perhaps, besides the strange occurrence of finding the quote unquote creature that Gertie reported, it is also amplified by the fact that Ben had to leave your party. It's almost as if you feel like your trio of adventurers has been splintered, and you find yourselves a little awkward around each other without Ben there to ping pong against or off. And also you feel maybe a little guilty about not believing Gertie to begin with. Those are the thoughts that you struggle with as you make your way back to the clubhouse.
And on our way back, I'll say, I am glad that Gertie didn't come with us.
Yeah, that might have been a bit rough for someone her age. I mean,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah, that was. What do you think of? I don't know. That seemed really weird. Like it didn't look like.
I mean, I usually defer to you on these things. You're like the animal person here.
Yeah, when calves and lambs and like kids get born with their legs tied together, it doesn't look like that. I don't know. Maybe I guess that was after a while of it not being fixed. So I don't know what they look like if you just leave them, I guess. So I guess that could be just it got born with got tied up and during birth and you just got left. That's gross.
It is part of the great circle of life.
What are you doing? What are you doing with that lion cub? Stop it. No, don't raise it over your head. No, okay. No.
Just gonna look over and there's just this orange cat that wanders around town, kind of like the town cat. Happens to find us. I just look over and I'm just like up above my head. This cat is very clearly had enough of this shit, so I'm gonna.
And clearly, like the bully
down.
got hold of the cat and like shaved it so it has a little mane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the cat's name, I wonder?
Jeepers.
Jeepers, the cat. Jeepers, the yellow cat. All right, I like it. So yeah, that bully Harrington picks on this cat all the time. As a matter of fact, one time, Rosa, you were very angry to see him out behind the back of the school flicking lit matches at it.
Ew. I hate Harrington.
Yeah.
I think all the kids call him Harrington, not his first name. Even though we're all kids like him, we just call him Harrington.
Yeah, he's that's Randy Harrington. He's the local bully, and it's compounded because he has been held back in school for 2 years. He should have gone to high school 2 years ago. So he's a couple years older than you guys. He's 16, and he's clearly lording his seniority over those kids. He can get away with doing that too. So you're always sort of on the lookout for him lurking around doing things. As a matter of fact, being so close to Gertie's house, you were kind of casting glances to the north where the Harrington house is, just across the highway there. But now you're back safe at the clubhouse. And it doesn't look like Ben's going to show up anytime soon. So you guys got about an hour to kill if you want to do anything before someone needs to go to the Goods and Sundry place. And then, of course, Rosa needs to be home by 5 to do some farm work. And you're expected at 6 to your uncle and aunt's house, Kyle.
Do you want to... Oh, sorry.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to go see what else is in that chest? I mean, I don't think we didn't really get to look through the whole thing because Gertie showed up.
I mean, we got a little more time to kill. We might as well see what else is in that thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. It's really nearby, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just
yeah. I'll say it's maybe 40, 50 yards from the clubhouse. It is, like we said, not too far away. When you guys were there working, you stumbled across it, Rosa. And it's still there in that, I think we said hollow log, was it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
it was in a hollow log.
So you crack it open and start bringing out the magazines and so forth. And again, Kyle, you're quite surprised that Rosa has this cache of essentially gentlemen's magazines with some very risque looking ladies on the cover and inside. But as Rosa pointed out last time, there is some very good fiction in there. And the one that she seems to be enamored of is Graveyard Shift by Steve King.
I definitely read the magazines because of That's why I'm so interested in this box, because of the art.
Yeah, that's what some of the 16-year-old boys at the high school said too. They also have a box somewhere.
But is it as cool as this one?
I mean, I've never seen it, so it's kind of hard to say,
Okay. Well, ours is pretty cool. Our box is pretty cool.
I mean, do we want to just leave it here? We could, put it back in the clubhouse.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So I guess we'll dig it up, and I'm assuming it's too big for one of us to carry. Well, it might be. Kyle might be able to carry it. I probably can't carry it by this.
Yeah, it's an ammo box is not that huge, so it's about I would say what do you say, about 15 by 12. It's sort of deep and narrow. It just holds basically a few rounds of machine gun ammunition.
Yeah.
It's not a massive crate or anything like that. This is something that could be hidden within a hollow log. So yeah, either one of you could take it up, no problem, and you easily move it back to the clubhouse.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and just dump it out on the floor.
All right, nice.
So we see everything.
Very cool. Yeah, so you dump it out, and there is, you've been through this thing. You've actually spent some time with this ammunition box. When you first found it, you were more than fascinated.
The articles.
Yes, the articles.
Definitely.
But you've been through it thoroughly, and really that it's we'll say that there was a single ammo round in the bottom. Yeah. And so that's sort of, intrigued you. But then, of course, everything else in there is simply men's magazines, Cavalier magazine in particular. Whoever was collecting this seemed to want to keep this away from prying eyes. But perhaps they have long...
Too late.
Yeah, too late now. So yeah, that's it. So you have a bunch of men's magazines, and then a single ammunition round from a machine gun.
I think I'm gonna hold up. It's like a 50 cal. I'm gonna hold up the bullet and say, "Isn't this so cool, Kyle? Look at this."
Dang, that's a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
I know. I know, it's so big. That's what she said.
Don't.
I don't know, let's put it like, I assume that we kind of have like a little I don't know, window ledge or a shelf or
Sure.
something
No, yeah,
where
make
we
it up.
like have
You
treasures.
can assume wherever you want.
Okay.
It's yours to do. What you
I'm
want.
gonna say we have a little like shelf where we keep our like treasures, just like cool stuff we find around. And you know, there's a conch shell there, and there's a
All
you
hail
know
the
there's
magic
that.
conch.
Yes. But make sure to blow it if you need to talk. And we have I think we have a like the skull of a like a weasel or something.
Ooh.
But like the one of the eye sockets has been like crushed in.
Ooh.
So like the one of the eye sockets is regular and the other one is just like pieces of bone.
Nice.
So I just think that's really cool. Okay, so we I'll put it up there, so we can show Ben when he comes back.
Nice.
And I'll pick up the magazine with the stories in it, and of course flip back to my favorite story about the rat.
Nice. And do you read it aloud to Kyle? Is that something you guys do?
I think I'll read it aloud. I'll be like, this is my favorite. Do you want to hear it, Kyle? Do you want to hear it?
Why would I not?
Okay. So this is called Graveyard Shift. And it's scary. So I'm gonna take a little flashlight, one of those little crank flashlights, and hold it up. So, you know, even though it's daylight, so it doesn't really work to have the, you know, like the dramatic lighting, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Be like, Graveyard Shift.
Excellent. And yeah, actually, as the afternoon wears on, the sun has crossed the peak and is slipping back behind the trees. So it is starting to get a little darker in here. The heat is dissipating slightly as the afternoon wears on. And you read the story to Kyle. Kyle, what do you think of it?
It's definitely creepy. Like I can kind of see where she likes it, but you know why she's doing that the whole time. I'm just like slowly trying to scoot a little closer to the other magazines.
Nice.
I just want to read them for the articles, you know.
Of course. And
yeah. See if any interesting articles in those ones.
Exactly. There's articles, all right. So yeah, Rosa proudly finishes her oration of the tale, and you know you are so excited to have shared this with one of your friends that you barely even realize that he's not listening as intently as you are enthralled by this story. And it kind of doesn't matter. You just feel very cool to have shared it, and also you feel a bit of maybe a calling speaking this out loud again with your being enamored of the film industry, and you know your hope and dream of going to LA sometime, Hollywood, and checking that out and maybe becoming part of the industry. You feel as though you had just performed for an audience of one.
Kyle, you're supposed to clap. Okay?
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna start kind of half-heartedly clapping.
Thank you. And I'm gonna bow and bow. Thank you.
And Kyle, you see that she is just really happy right now.
So there's nothing else, I mean, really interesting there. Do you want to go over to I guess maybe it's time to head to Herb's.
I mean, it's about that time. I know we have to factor in walking and.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. What do you say?
Hold on. And just in case it rains later, I'm going to take the now empty ammo box and kind of look up at the roof and put it right under where I know the leak is in case it rains. That way it rains into the ammo bucket, not onto the floor of the clubhouse again.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the both of you exit the clubhouse, scamper on down the ladder, the rickety ladder, and are back on solid ground. Are you both going to the goods and sundry, or are you splitting up?
I think we're both going because.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of the way I have to go anyway, so I might as well.
Okay.
And you too, Kyle, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, you guys are both headed in that direction anyway, so yeah, kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you quickly, because you realize you've maybe cut the time a little close. It's actually just before 4:00, so the two of you end up. I wondered if you had ridden bikes here, or did you just hike?
Oh no, we rode our bikes.
I think I rode. Definitely.
Yeah, you're a little.
I
further
rode my
out.
bike, and then we walked to find where the box was initially. And
nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
what kind of bikes
when
do you
we
have?
walked with Gertie.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine is blue.
Blue? You got like any tassels or a banana seed or?
Yeah, I'm picturing like a teal banana seed.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe okay, so it used to have like yellow tassels on the handlebars, but for some reason, maybe it was Harrington. I don't even know. I was in town one day and I like got off the bike to go do something, and when I came back, the tassels from one handlebar had been cut. So like the tassels are just sort of like it's this fuzzy little pom-pom of like used to be tassels on one of the handlebars, but I haven't bothered changing them out.
Okay. Nice. How about you, Kyle? What kind of bike you got?
I mean, I don't know at this point. It's just kind of a mishmash of bits and pieces of whatever I could find to keep this thing going. Because it was my dad's bike for all those years, and we don't exactly have the money to get me something newer or nicer. So every now and then, I like to swing down by the junkyard and ask and see if they got any bicycle parts in. And I've done a bit of bartering. I've brought them some stuff from the house that Dad wouldn't notice was missing because he never notices those things. And I've kind of traded for bits and pieces to keep it going.
Nice. Painted it all?
It's painted black, and then there was like you can kind of see if you look at it long enough. There's a really poor attempt of Kyle very poorly attempted to paint like racing stripes on it, but he has no artistic talent, so it's not at all a straight line, and it's all over the place, and there are like paint drips going down the side.
All right. Nicely done. So yeah, the two of you hop back onto your bikes and pedal your little hearts out back to town, and you go up to Goods and Sundry. Now, Goods and Sundry of Las Cruces has just about anything you'd need in a pinch. Grocery staples, basic hardware and tools, and reading material, some of which Herb, the owner and proprietor, keeps on a high shelf behind the counter. But thankfully, the comics are in plain sight on a wire turnstile near the cash register. Herb likes nothing more than to jaw-jack with his customers, keeping up a friendly conversation while he stocks shelves and sweeps the wooden planked floor. And as you guys come in, he's like, "Oh, what brings you guys in today, Rosa? Kyle, what's going on?"
Hey, Herb. We're here. Ben had some stuff he had to go to. His mom kind of yanked him earlier. It was a bummer. But we're
Yeah.
here to deal with the deliveries for him. Because that's what friends do.
Oh, well, that's commendable of you. And he takes a glance up at the clock, and it's 4:01. Yeah, well, let me check and see what I got back here behind the thing. What happened to Ben? Did you say?
His mom dropped by earlier and kind of took him. We didn't get any of it unless you figured out what's going on, Rosa.
I mean, I know that this was like she was going into Lompoc to get some groceries or something, so maybe she needed help carrying the groceries or something.
Okay, well, I guess I'll have to have a talk with her about that because, boy, I swear. All right, let me see what I got back here. No, that goes tomorrow. Oh, okay. Yeah, here it is. Just one package today. Here you go. And he puts it on the counter, and it's a small brown paper wrapped box, about 8 by 6, very small with a label on it. When are you guys? Are you guys heading home after this? I was hoping Ben could drop this off, but this goes up to the August house. Up at that dead end.
Oh yeah.
Right by Ben's house there.
Oh, it shouldn't take too long. We can we could go deliver that, no problem. And then I have to go back home after that. So.
Oh, that's kind of what I was worried about because you're all the way out. Maybe Kyle, you want to take this?
Oh yeah, I can handle that. I just have to go to my Uncle John's house after I drop it off.
Oh, that shouldn't be too far for you. I mean, you're a big strapping lad, and look at that bike. Man, that thing will last forever. It's a Frankenstein right there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make it work,
Okay, well, you sure you got this okay, Kyle?
Oh yeah, I've been out by Ben's house a lot.
All right.
I think I know the place you're talking about. It's like past his house a little ways.
Oh, you can't miss it.
Oh yeah, it's like creepy and it looks like no one's living there. And
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't get much in the way of deliveries for that house, but old Alden, he.
It's weird that someone would build a blue dot with a ghost and paint a ghost on it.
I know, right? It's a dead giveaway. Yeah, well, Alden, he doesn't come around much anymore. It's been about a decade now. I haven't seen much of him. He doesn't even come to church now that I think about it, but he must get deliveries from someplace else. But for some reason, this one came here. So I'll tell you what, Kyle, I'll trust you this time. All right. If I get any reports back, you and me are gonna have words.
Okay. I mean, my English teacher said I had a hard time with those, but I'll see what I can do for you.
All right. Well, just get there lickety split if you don't mind, and drop it off before dark. And Rosa, I think you best be getting home. Your mom's going to be after you, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure I saw your dad already trundle by in the truck.
Oh, Pavi's home?
I assume.
See you, Kyle. And I'm going to, run out the door and start biking home.
And sure enough, Rosa flies out the front door of Herb's Goods and Sundries and hops on her bike and pedals to the metal back to the farm. And Kyle, you have a package in your hand with a label on it.
Right. Well, I'll just take care of this for you.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Here's a root beer candy for you on the way. Okay.
Oh, that's awfully generous. You don't have to do that.
And he pats the top of your head, or at least tries to. You're so tall. All right. Be safe. Be careful with that too. I have no clue what's in there.
I'm gonna walk out the door and try and settle as best as I can, trying to like hold this thing like under my arm while I'm still holding onto both the handlebars, and so I can still keep pedaling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really light actually. It probably weighs no more than a pound, and it tucks easily up underneath your arm, so you're able to quite easily. And you're pretty adept at this bike too. You've spent some time with it. You know all the ins and outs. Maybe you've even jumped some jumps. I don't know. You tell me. I'm assuming.
So gonna make my way at a pretty good clip up towards Ben's house. We've made the ride from Herb's up to Ben's house before many times. We come down here sometimes to buy, snacks and stuff whenever we get together, and we've also bought a couple of other things that may or may not have gotten us into trouble before.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what to expect in terms of the ride and how long it's going to take, and what I should be kind of waiting for before I really start giving it some gas.
Yeah. So it's a pretty easy bike ride up to and past Ben's house. And then you go towards the cul-de-sac that leads to the dead end. But the August house is about midway. It's not quite all the way to the dead end. It's at the curve. And you know this place because it's a bit of a myth in town. It's a urban legend, yet another urban legend in Las Cruces. And you're struck again as you park your bike at the roadside that despite its age, the August house squats proudly atop an overgrown hillock at the midway point of the cul-de-sac, not far from Ben's house. There is no driveway. Instead, a cobblestoned walkway from the narrow road leads over a rickety footbridge and up to a rusted wrought iron gate, the fence for which surrounds the entire property. The gate itself is unlocked and merely latched, as you discovered one nerve-wracking Halloween night when you and your friends nearly had the guts to knock on the front door. As it happened, the squeal of that gate as you opened it chased you away down the street, laughing with relief and fright, and you'd never been back since. Now, looking up at the imposing 3-story manse, with its windows like blank eyes watching you, the old fear creeps under the scalp at the back of your neck.
Gonna pull up to the curb in front of the house. Just gonna sit there for a second, gathering up some courage, and then I'm just gonna set my bike down. I don't have a kickstand on it. I mean, it did at one point, but it doesn't anymore. So just kind of, set it down on the ground, and then take another deep breath and just start walking up towards the front of the house.
Okay. So you cross over the rickety footbridge, which spans a small creek, which is barely just gurgling. There's not much flow over this way. And your footfalls clatter on the loose boards of the footbridge. And you make your way up to the rusty wrought iron gate. And you can see that just like that night, that Halloween night, there is still no lock. And it's just merely a latch that pulls up and disengages it.
It's just a house. And I'm going to like push the gate open, but kind of do it almost like at an arm's length. Just kind of hedging it in case I do have to turn and run. I'm trying to give myself as much of a lead as possible.
And as you push the gate open, it creaks noisily on rusty hinges. And beyond is the cobblestone walkway that goes perhaps another 40 feet to the front steps that lead up to a ornate wooden door.
Gonna take a second, just kind of look back and forth. And I'm going to very gingerly kind of just knock on the front door. I have a delivery here from Herb. I was told that it was for you guys. Just it's here if you want it. I'm just gonna set it down and go. It'll be here though. Okay. Bye. And I'm just gonna like set the package down and then like not run away from the house, but start like power walking because you don't want to look like you're scared. Can't show weakness because that's when they pounce.
So you set the package down and turn around and almost stumble run down the stairs in restrained terror. And you hear a voice whisper behind you. Thank you, young man.
Yep, definitely Ben. That's me. You're welcome. Goodbye. And I'm gonna like pick up my bike and just as quickly as I can whip it around and start pedaling very hard back down the street.
Cool.
Trying to get to John's or Uncle John's house.
And as you pick up your bike and turn it around in the opposite direction, give me a spot hidden, please.
So that's going so well. I needed a 60. I rolled a 21. That's a hard success.
And even though you don't want to, your eyes drift back to the house and see a curtain at the upstairs window. A curtain at an upstairs window fall closed as if someone had been watching you the entire time. And you pedal furiously to Uncle John's. Rosa, you make your way back to the farm and see your dad's truck there and realize that, you gotta get some chores done. So you've got some weeding to do. You got to feed the chickens, the goats, the cats. What do you do first?
I think I'm gonna do the chickens first.
Okay. And they're very hungrily and happily clucking away. There are some eggs to gather. And so you do that. But they seem extremely happy to see you, proudly strutting around the yard.
And I'm gonna pet my favorite chickens and avoid old Merryweather because she's just kind of bitch, and make my way out of the chicken enclosure over to the goat.
All right. So you notice the goats are there in the field. Jezzy is suckling the kids, but only 3 of them. Where's the 4th?
I think I'm gonna feed the goats, and then I'm gonna run back to the house to tell my parents we're sort of close-ish to wild places. So I imagine coyotes grab them sometimes.
Ah, gotcha. So you run into the house, and your dad is in the Barker lounger in front of the TV with a beer in his hand. Your mother is busily preparing dinner. Yes, honey. Yes, yes.
Hi, mommy. Hi, papi. I just fed the goats, and you know how Jesse has four kids. Well,
Yes.
right now there are only 3 kids suckling from Jesse, and
Where is the 4th one?
I'm not sure, and I
Find
just
him.
wanted. Okay, let me go look.
They're yours. They're yours. I have dinner to make, and your dad is not in a great mood, okay?
Okay.
He had a hard time at the farmer's market today, so we give him some quiet time, okay? Let me know if you find him.
Okay. And I'm gonna run back out and climb through the fence. And I fed the goats their pellets or whatever. So I imagine they're all kind of gathered around the feed trough.
Yep. They certainly are. And again, there is only 3 of them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go around the sort of out towards the edges of the enclosure. And I'm yelling, "Here, goat, goat, goat," because I don't think they had names yet.
Yeah. Here, come here, future dinner. No.
Yes. Here, delicious kid or something. Yeah.
Here, curry. And as you realize, as you're walking across the enclosure, checking the edges of the fence, particularly the parts that are facing or abut the forest, the woods.
You said butt.
And, as you begin walking away from the other goats, you suddenly remember that it's the little one, the runt, the little white goat. He's pure white, doesn't have any markings on him, but he's the weaker of the bunch. No. And as you circle the enclosure, you do come to a spot where there is a portion of the fenced-in area that has been damaged. A couple of the planks are crushed in or have fallen out of the holes that keep them in. And there's a little bit of blood on the edge of the fallen fence. So you're not quite sure, did it jump? Did it scamper and hurt itself?
Yeah.
Was there a predator like last time? You're not quite certain, but that's the evidence you see.
Can I sort of like poke my head through without like scraping against wood or metal?
Well, it's fallen to a degree that you could actually just step right over it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna.
And beyond is the woods, the deep, dark woods that are growing even more dim in the failing sunlight.
Well, I know that the kid is not going to survive a night in the woods, if it's even still alive. So first, I'm going to just be really quiet and see if I hear anything.
Okay, give me a listen
for something. Okay, I rolled an 80 over 25, so that is a fail.
And yeah, you stop to listen, and it sounds like normal sounds. So you hear birds in the trees. You hear the faraway caw of an eagle, because eagles caw, right?
Yeah,
I assume.
The eagles around here caw.
They caw like crows.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just hear normal, and even maybe some very faint chirping of crickets and so forth deep within the woods.
So I guess not hearing anything, I'm gonna look down and see if I can see like any blood anywhere. I guess.
You
from
certainly do see the
Halloween.
blood, and
Okay.
looks like it does sort of lead deeper into the forest.
So I'd like to follow. Um, I'm gonna be kind of quiet because I think that this might have been a predator.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want me to roll stealth for that.
You're going to
But
roll track. Don't worry about stealth at this
okay.
point.
Okay. That is a 62 over 30. So that is a fail.
All right. So the blood trail continues on for about 20 feet, and then it's gone. And there are no markings here. There is some fresh fall of pine needles, which have maybe obscured something, but you peer deep into the darkening forest and begin to get a cold sensation. And you just feel almost that same emotional impact when you use the reach to find Kyle and Ben. You feel that same sense of disconnection when you can't find them. You realize that the goat, the kid, the runt is probably gone, taken by something.
You said a bunch of pine needles. Do they look like they're carrying anything?
Do they look like what?
Or
Sorry, say again.
does it look like a pile of pine needles that are like covering something?
No,
Or is it just like pine needles
yeah,
everywhere?
just like normal fallen pine
Yeah.
needles.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of book it back towards the where the hole in the fence was.
All right, yep. And
And
you make it back to the enclosure and look at the fence and see that you can reset it, put it back into the notch, but maybe tomorrow you'll need to
yeah.
come out here
Okay.
with your dad and fix it for good.
Do I have like a bright colored piece of cloth on my clothing?
Yeah,
Maybe like
yeah,
a
sure.
yeah. So I'm gonna set it back and then I'm gonna tie that around the slat so he could find it
Great.
tomorrow. Because I'm gonna go tell him that the fence got broken and yeah, because I can't fix that.
Yeah. And so you head back into the house to tell your mother what happened because your father is clearly not willing to hear anything just right now. But tomorrow, perhaps you'll take care of it. And we'll leave you there. And we'll go
Okay.
back to Kyle, who shows up to Uncle John's place. You go quite north past Randy Harrington's house because you have to go past Randy Harrington's house.
I'm going to stop for a second and spit in the general direction of his house when I go past it.
Nice. And it's kind of eerie because his house too is quite quiet. You don't detect any movement. You know his dad's a bit of a son of a bitch too. A mean sucker. He likes to yell at people
they
and
all
sick their
are.
dogs on you. But you make it past and head up to Uncle John's and Aunt Em. And they are there, greet you warmly. The garage is open. You can see that Uncle John's been working all day on an old Ford pickup for somebody, you're not quite sure. Doesn't look like anything that's been around town lately. And the three of you sit down. Emily's made a great meal, fresh gazpacho from veggies bought from the Garcias a couple days ago. Rosa's family. Some sourdough bread that she baked, and she made a homemade raspberry crumble.
Ooh.
Mm. And so the three of you are sitting there and just, Emily's keeping up a patter with you. And Uncle John is being rather quiet at the other end. And he's drinking his ice water and not even really looking at the two of you as you converse. M says, so Kyle, what'd you do today?
Oh, it's first day of summer, so
Oh God,
spent
so
some
exciting.
time hanging out at the treehouse with the group.
Oh yeah.
Ended up running a delivery for Herb.
Nice.
Ben had something come up, so I just covered for him.
Oh, is he okay?
Oh yeah, his mom came and I needed his help with something. She was going into town for groceries.
I worry about that boy. He's on the small side.
He keeps telling me he's going to get a growth spurt, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, I think you and I both know different. Well, so what do you got? Big plans for the summer then?
I mean, when Dad gets back, he's going to start drilling me hard for tryouts in the fall.
Oh, there's plenty of time for that, Kyle. You need to at least enjoy the summer,
I mean, we're hoping we'll have the time to kind of fix up the old clubhouse a bit. As a couple of holes in the roof that need patching. Would like to get that fixed. Maybe replace a few of the creaky floorboards that might be, on their way out.
And Uncle John clears his throat at the other end of the table. Says, "Clubhouse? What? You're still using that little clubhouse?"
I mean, yeah, we haven't found anywhere better.
Well, just be careful in them woods.
Oh, you know us. We're always careful. I mean, except for that one time Ben fell out of the clubhouse. That I mean, I probably shouldn't have pushed him that hard, but
And Uncle John slams his hand flat on the table, rattling the glasses and the plates. I'm just saying, just be careful in the woods, all right? It's not what you think it is.
Right. So Uncle John, how's the engine rebuild going on that 58? You need some help with it after dinner?
No, I've got some things. I'm sorry, can you excuse me? And he gets up and sort of weaves slightly and then heads into his bedroom and shuts the door.
Is he okay? He seems a bit spacier than normal. I'm kind of worried about him.
Kyle, we need to have a talk, hon. I'll tell you what. Meet me out on the front porch, okay? Would you mind cleaning this stuff up? Just put it next to the sink. I'll take care of it later.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
I'll see you in a minute, okay?
Oh,
and she gets up
all
and
right.
walks outside.
Gonna gather up the dishes and all the plates and forks and glasses and very neatly stack them next to the sink for her, like she asked. And then I'm going to grab a couple of glasses down, fill them with a couple ice cubes, and then pull a jug of sweet tea out of the fridge because Aunt Em always has some fresh sweet tea waiting. And I'm gonna pour us both a nice tall glass, and I'm gonna take them out to the front porch.
Nice. And you walk out. The June evening is full of chirping insects and the occasional shadow of a bat swooping against the burgeoning moonlight. And you walk up to M. She has her back to you. She's leaning over the rail, smoking a cigarette on the front porch. And you can see she already has a drink in her hand, but she turns quickly to you. Oh, thanks, hon. And grabs the sweet tea out of your hand and puts it on a little side table, but continues drinking whatever's in the other glass. I'm sorry you had to see that.
I mean, I noticed he's been getting a little bit weird, but I didn't think it was this bad.
It's gotten It's gotten pretty bad. It's gotten worse. I wish I'd hope that we could have a nice dinner but the meds just aren't cutting it anymore.
He's still taking them, right? I know he doesn't like to, but he is still taking them, right?
I don't know. He says he is, but his mood swings are just crazy. I mean, ever since he came back, I know he has dreams, the nightmares. He saw some terrible things over there.
I mean, I've only ever heard what they print in the newspapers, but can't imagine what he actually saw.
He doesn't like to talk about it. And he wants to protect you, but I don't think he's capable of handling it himself, and he just will not get help.
I mean, you know how he is. He had a hard enough time asking me to help him with some of his car projects. He's always been stubborn, though, right? I mean, that's not new.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. He's not the same man.
I know how that feels. Your dad still hasn't come back to himself ever since mom just wandered off.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to. The family just needs a break from this. Your dad and your uncle, they're birds of a feather. They take trauma and anxiety and their own mental anguish, and they don't know how to compartmentalize it or process it. And I've been trying to help him, but sometimes I'm just at my breaking point.
Just gonna lean over and give her a hug.
And she leans in and hugs you back. And after a few moments, and she flips her cigarette into the front yard and slowly pours out whatever was in the other glass, straightens up and says, okay, I'm going to pack you up something to go, okay? I know your dad's going to be gone for a bit, so come on inside and I'll fix you up a nice Tupperware, okay?
Oh, you don't have to do that.
No, I insist. Come on in. I have lots of leftovers. Trust me. We don't eat as much as we used to. So, and she heads back in.
Did she like pour out the other glass like just onto the porch?
Onto the grass over the railing.
Okay. I'm going to just take a second to kind of look over where she poured that stuff out, and I'm just going to turn and head back inside.
Okay. And she is busily in the kitchen stacking the dishes and filling a large Tupperware container full of leftovers for you. And, even though you're concentrating on her and what she's doing for you, you can't but help hear soft crying coming from the other room. Although you thought this would be just another boring weekend in the Crosses, summer vacation is shaping up to be more intriguing than expected. As you lie on your bed, Saturday's events ping-pong in your brain as you try to make sense of this new information, formulating possible explanations and pondering future events. Your excitement level is high, and you're not quite certain you'll be able to sleep, but like all things, eventually, time catches up, and your eyelids grow heavy, relentlessly pulling the shades down over your conscious mind. Sometime in the middle of the night, you're awakened by a noise. It's a formless sound plumbing the depths of slumber. But by the time you surface, only the chirp of crickets, the hoot of a distant owl, and the low hum of a semi-truck on the interstate drift through your open window. The fog of sleep reaches up to you like a tentacled beast from the deep, pulling you back to the brink of dream. You sink willingly back into warm, dim nothingness, welcoming the familiar embrace. And then the noise erupts again. Heart hammering, wide awake, you sit bolt upright in bed. Was it another wreck on the highway? It sounded like a crash, but more sonorous, louder. Earthquake, maybe? The echo, still ringing in your ears, tells you it wasn't close, but it wasn't too far either. Possibly a mile or two? Holding your breath, you wait for it to come again, so you can pinpoint exactly where it originated. But the noise does not return. It is nearly an hour before you're able to fall asleep again. Visions of shifting tectonic plates plaguing your nightmares for the rest of your restless sleep cycle. Tune in next time as we play another reel of the Lovecraft Tapes. All right, guys, any new information here that's intriguing to you? Obviously, lots of things went down. What's top of your mind?
I'm not convinced that the thing over by the Cooney house or whatever, that fawn thing, whatever was going on with that, is the same as whatever was going on with the goat.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know. I guess they're pretty close together, but still, it seems like
Right, they may be not connected. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like there's something else going on with Uncle John that Anton just doesn't want to tell Kyle. Like, yeah, it might be what he saw during the war, but there might also still be something else there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seemed pretty upset about the clubhouse.
Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, now it's time for hashtag recommendos, where we share some of our geeky obsessions. Please roll D100. I rolled a 44.
I rolled a 32.
All right.
I rolled a 28.
All right. So, looks like we go with highest roll goes first. So that's me, then Matt, then Lupine. I'll go first. And, you know, guys, if I'm being honest, because I live and breathe this podcast, pouring my heart and soul into its writing and production, I don't listen to many other podcasts. Partly due to time, but also because I need a mental break from audio programs in general. However, because I'm not exactly a spring chicken anymore, I hop on the treadmill a few times a week, and during that hour of mindless, excruciating exercise, I need something to distract my clamoring brain, which is urging me to go back upstairs and scarf down that leftover bundt cake in the fridge. Bundt cake. So instead of feeding my face, I feed my ears with a show that was recommended to me, in which I am recommending to you. Smart, less. Actors and lifelong friends Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett get together, joke around, poke fun, and then take turns surprising each other with secret interview guests. They are each insightful interviewers, bringing their trademark comedy and scintillating wit to the table, and you can instantly tell that they are good buddies in real life. Their recent guests have included Bono, Steven Spielberg, John Krasinski, or the Kraz as they call him, and Edward Norton. So if you, like me, need a laugh when you realize you still have another couple miles to run before you're allowed to go back upstairs and raid the larder, give Smartless a listen. It's fun. I like it. It's very witty. All right. Matt, give us your recommendo.
Oh boy. So if you were here last week, you will recall that I would say that the next 3 weeks of recommendos were going to kind of be a themed set. But we'll put a pin in that. I promise I'll come back to the other 2 in that set. But I had a brand new game shadow dropped today during an Xbox developer conference, and I downloaded it immediately after the show was over, and I have not been able to stop playing. It is called Hi-Fi Rush from Tango Games. And what it is a third-person rhythm-based action brawler. You play Chai. He is more or less he comes about as the result of some shady corporate doings where he is part of an experiment to replace parts of humans with robot parts to make them more efficient at their jobs. However, during the process of receiving his new robot prosthesis, something goes wrong, and he ends up having an MP3 player entombed in the power source in his chest. And what this does is it gives him the ability to see and hear and feel the beat of the world around him. And the world around him moves in time with the music that's playing. And what this does is it literally turns the game into a rhythm brawler. As you go through the world, you'll have constant music playing, a mix of original stuff as well as some really awesome licensed tracks that they use sparingly throughout the game, so it's kind of special. And it's a really interesting concept that's done really well. Even if you're like me and you've never been super great at rhythm games, they make it easy. The way that it works is as you fight, your attacks are always going to land on the beat of the song. So you never have to worry about just flat out missing anything, but they reward you for staying in sync and in time with the music. If you manage to press your buttons and time your combos in beat, you get stronger attacks, you get really cool finishers, you get opportunities to continue combos, and then you add in things like being able to jump and being able to dash around the field, and it turns into this really, really fun game of zipping around. And when you nail that and you're really in time with your music, it is absolutely magical to just fly around and, pummel these robots and watch them explode into pieces, all with this amazing rock soundtrack blaring in the background. It's a beautiful game too. It's almost like a hand animated kind of anime style. And it's very bright and it's really vibrant, which I love because there are way too many games out there nowadays that are like brown and green and gray and serious. And this being a vibrant explosion of color is just super refreshing. I played a couple hours straight. I've made it through 2 of the boss battles. And I have to say that I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. I picked this up because it is on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, feel free to check it out at no cost. Otherwise, it is $30, which isn't bad. But yeah, this came out of nowhere today at this conference, and I'm really glad that I gave it a chance because I'm super enjoying it. One of my favorite moments so far is the fact that the first big boss battle you get into is like I said, there's music underscoring this whole game, and it's a huge part of it. But the first boss battle, I won't give away the mechanics, but it's scored to 9 Inch Nails 1 million, and it is freaking amazing to be able to just bounce around this arena fighting these things off to 9 Inch Nails, and it is so well done. Like seriously, everyone should give this a go.
All right. Sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you, Matt. And we'll move along to Lupine. Give us your recommendo.
So, unlike Jeremy, I only touch treadmill under duress. Extreme duress. I can't run, so that's the caveat. But whatever. Anyway, but I do listen to a lot of podcasts. And I have one today for you all that I thought you'd like. Because I assume that pretty much everyone watching is a horror fan. And it's called the Mayfair Watchers Society. And it's a little bit like an anthology podcast. I'm not usually a fan of the anthology podcast, but I don't know. This one gets to me, and I think it's because there's the central element that all of these stories take place in this place called Mayfair, which I believe is a fictional town. I'm not sure. And it's like this little suburban town, and there's all these weird things that go on in Mayfair. And it's a place where, like, for instance, the county coroner's like, Mayfair's a weird place, and stuff like that. And not a lot of things, you may find this surprising, but not a lot of things scare me. But this one makes me, like, look over my shoulder, like, what was that noise? And am I alone in my apartment, kind of thing. So, I mean, it's a really fun podcast. They're fairly new. So they are coming, it's Mayfair. They are coming out, Wayfair, nice. But, they are coming out, fairly recently. You don't have to listen to them in any sort of order. I am, because I'm a completionist, and that's what I need to do. But, yeah, so, just short horror stories, really, really creepy horror stories, and I don't know, good stuff. So Mayfair Watchers Society.
All right, cool. I'm definitely gonna at least give them a try, because I do love me some horror, and if it's extreme, I really like that, so I'll check it out. Thank you very much, Lupine. And guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you prefer. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review and let us know how awesome we are, even though one of our people is not here today. Meanwhile, you can find us at lovecrafttapes.com with links to all our hashtag recommendos and social media channels, including Reddit, YouTube, and our Discord server, where you can chat with us in real time. You can find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
Oh, we're back to Twitter.
Oh, no, I'm going to amend that. Sorry. You can find me on Mastodon at Lovecraft Tapes.
And if anybody wants to help me figure out what's going on with my uncle, you can hit me up on Mastodon at The Real Weird Kid.
And, like, I guess some people don't know that goat screams sound like human screams, but they do. And it's really disturbing. And you should go look up on YouTube, which definitely doesn't exist. You can look me up, though, on Linktree. I'm at Linktree/Lupine Vendetta, all one word.
Until next time, roll for a wounded fawn. And a very large rock. All right, guys.
New band name, called it.
A Wounded Fawn is actually a film that just came out too, and it's pretty wild. Anyways, thank you for everyone in the chat who is watching, and anybody else. There's actually quite a few people watching tonight. For everybody who gave us a follow here tonight. We saw you pop up there. Someone also rated us. That was very nice. Crimson Pleasure. Appreciate that. And yeah, everybody have a great night, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Muchas gracias.